What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
All right, hey, coming in now, I just wanted to get that out of the way. There's a gratuitous promo. We are very proud to be able to have a number of thought leaders and contributors into the public education of Indiana here. They are key members of the IAPSS. That's the Indiana Association of Public School Superintendents. And I want to welcome our in-studio guest here. That's Dr. Jeffrey Butt, Superintendent of MSD Wayne Township Schools. Hello, sir.
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me, Aaron.
You're more than welcome. More than welcome. And on the phone, to top it off, we also have Dr. Scott Hanbeck, the Superintendent of Tippecanoe News School Corporation. Sir, how are you doing?
Hi, Aaron. Glad to be here. Good to chat with you.
Absolutely. As well as Dr. Jeffrey Hendricks, Superintendent of the school town of Munster.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate being on the show today.
You're more than welcome, and I got to say, there's a little bit of alternate direction here. We really do want to showcase you superintendents as the conference is coming up. We want to talk about a lot of education items, but there's also the conference right in front of us that we want to get the public awareness out about. What's going on with the IAPSS? Can you tell me what the association's role is in the state of Indiana, Dr. Butts?
Well, thanks, Aaron. The IAPSS is an organization for superintendents across the state of Indiana, and we have approximately 300 public school corporations across Indiana. Mm-hmm. This is our opportunity this year to bring all of our superintendents together into Indianapolis, and our theme this year is Every Child, Every Day, the Indiana Way. You know, we have school districts throughout the state, all that serve their communities that look very different. We have very small districts that are in rural communities. We have districts that are in suburban communities and districts that are in urban communities. And but the one common thread for all of us is we are educating children, and that's a critical piece for us. So the conference really has been designed to help us to become better superintendents, to work together for all of our children across the state. And so we'll have an opportunity to hear some leadership strategies during our keynote address, followed by some breakouts. We have some absolutely incredible practices happening in school corporations across the state of Indiana. And this year, we're going to have an opportunity for 4 different strands for those leaders to come and share with the rest of the superintendents in the state what's happening, what's working, the best practices that are going on in their school districts, so that we can take those back to our communities and implement those strategies that can also help to educate our children. And we're looking at preschool education. We know how important it is for the early learning initiatives, and those are emerging from both the state level and also many of our local communities that are participating in preschool grants and pilot projects. We're also looking at technology. We know how important technology and e-learning is today in our schools, and so that'll be another strand, and different communities are in different places with their integration of the digital content and rollout of devices into their students' hands. Looking at leadership, we always are looking for better ways to lead our school districts, lead our communities. Many of us are the largest employers in our communities, and so we have a significant impact on what's happening with economic and community development as well. And so that'll be strand number 3, and then the last strand is marketing. It's that's
our favorite strand.
I know, and we didn't get into this business. We didn't become educators to be marketers, but we know it's a critical piece in what we do, and so we can utilize or really use some of those helpful hints from districts that are doing it well.
Oh, that's an incredible synopsis. And to back up just a quick second, I want to identify your roles, because you are top leadership, some of the top leadership of the IAPSS. And Dr. Butts, you're the vice president this year, and the president-elect for 2017-2018 school year.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that part of the vice president's role is to plan the conference. And so I learned that after I moved into the role. So I've had an in-depth opportunity this year to work on the details of this year's conference.
I see. And gentlemen, nobody else cued him in on that, did they?
Absolutely not, since I did it last year.
And
I didn't want to have to do it again.
And that's Dr. Scott Hambeck he's the current.
Actually, that's Jeff Hendricks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you're right.
He was vice president last year. I had the privilege to follow him, and so he certainly left big shoes to fill with last year's conference. And I'm hoping that this year will be a great follow-up to what he did last year.
Absolutely, and Dr. Scott Hambeck is the current president of IAPSS. So we've got the top brass here of the entire conference. Now, how many superintendents are there in the state of Indiana, sir?
Yeah, we have about 300 superintendents, and this is really a great opportunity for us to come together. We call this our annual meeting, and Dr. Butts provided a very nice synopsis of the conference. And in addition to that, I think one of the benefits of being able to come to the conference, in addition to the breakout sessions and the leadership sessions, are really those hallway conversations with colleagues. And we have the opportunity to get together and during our breaks and during those opportunities where you get to talk to others, you can really pick up insightful information. You can share some of your stories with others. You can gain insight, whether they be humorous things happening in your district, maybe serious. It could even be a therapy session with others and just kind of venting with others, maybe getting some ideas and feedback from others. So I think really, in addition to all those things, I really hope folks are able to come and grab at least one gold nugget's worth of information just by sharing with colleagues. And really that's what our association is all about, is networking and staying connected with our colleagues. It's a tough business. We're all in a similar business here, helping educate kids and lead these school corporations. And this is our opportunity to come together to do that and share with one another, and then to celebrate one another. One of our evening activities is our annual banquet, and that gives us an opportunity to really hold in high esteem honorary members and present various awards, including our state Superintendent of the Year award, and that's a peer selected award that we give out once a year, and that person represents Indiana in the national Superintendent of the Year competition. So we're very proud of our colleagues and what we do across the state.
It really does encapsulate the age-old mantra of iron sharpens iron, is that you're holding each other accountable. You're being able to establish a good knowledge transfer between all the districts of the state, and at the same time you're also acknowledging the new challenges inside of education. And there's actually more distractions than ever before for the students, but there's also a great way to communicate to your constituents and the different and the populations that you serve. Right?
Yeah, I think Scott really touched on something very, very important, and I know Dr. Hambeck does a really great job of laying this out for everyone on how important it is. In each of our communities, being the superintendent can be a very lonely position. There aren't many others like us. Dr. Hambeck has the opportunity to have two other superintendents within his county that I know they remain very close and work together on professional development and other situations that are going on, both with West Lafayette and Lafayette School Corporation. But we have the same thing in my community with Marion County. But what we find out in those hallway conversations that Dr. Hambeck was mentioning was that there are a lot more similarities across the state of Indiana, even with our different district and demographics. And many other superintendents are going through some of the same things, and we can learn a lot from each other in those conversations. Absolutely.
Well, the topics, as Dr. Butts covered, are preschool, Indiana preschool issues, technology and e-learning, leadership and superintendency, and marketing in your districts. Now, this is not exclusively for superintendents, correct?
That's correct. We have we bring with us some of us bring our central office folks, our assistant superintendents, director of finance, business managers. So we open up principals. We've invited principals. We actually try to encourage some folks who are aspiring to be superintendents, because as most of us well know, these jobs open up fairly quickly, and sometimes some people aren't in the seats very long before they're looking for another job because of how tough it is.
Now,
and to Dr. Hendrick's point, we also have retired superintendents, and those are the leadership that came before us that laid the foundation and paved the way for us and have dealt with many of the situations we're currently going through. And so we also have the opportunity to interact with some of our retired superintendents in the state of Indiana that can really give us very valuable nuggets.
Excellent. Well, for a gratuitous plug, we're also working. Site Strategics is actually working with the IAPSS and helping redevelop their website as well as their archive material to be able to enhance the membership amenities for all the superintendents of the state. So it's an honor to be able to work in that space. It's also a great honor to be able to speak with all of you gentlemen, and I certainly appreciate the time that you're spending coming on and actually educating everybody about this conference. So the conference is December 13th, 14th, and 15th of this year at the Hyatt Regency Hotel, downtown Indianapolis. And if they haven't got a ticket, they can still register for the event, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We've actually gone to an online registration system this year, which has been much more efficient than our prior practices. So we're really excited about that and getting to mingle with the exhibitors that attend the conference. And at the end of the day, we really couldn't do this without our sponsors and our business partners, and we appreciate you, Aaron, and Site Strategics for working with our association.
It's a great privilege, truly is. Okay, we're continuing our conversations with our Indiana superintendents, covering more Indiana education issues, and specifically the recent news of ISTEP school letter grades dropping, and what our superintendents here think of that right after this.